Let's open up with a trivia question, local trivia for you. If I told you to meet me at Eisenhower Park in Perrysburg, would you know where that is? How about if I told you to meet me at the park behind Mr. Freeze? That's Eisenhower Park. Welcome to the Perrysburg Podcast, episode 54. I'm your host and Perrysburg resident, Kim Newlove. The Perrysburg Podcast is an informational podcast for prospective, new, and current Perrysburg, Ohio residents. We talk about what's in Perrysburg and why people like to live here. The show notes are on perrysburgpodcast.com. Today, we're talking about Eisenhower Park. Eisenhower Park is a small city park behind Mr. Freeze. If you haven't been there yet, the address for your GPS is 619 West South Boundary Street, Perrysburg, Ohio. Parking is available behind Mr. Freeze. You can also enter the parking lot from West Boundary Street. That's right next to Marco's Pizza. Some people call that stretch of road North Dixie Highway or State Route 25, but it's also called West Boundary Street. The major feature of Eisenhower Park is the playground. The playground has a hard plastic perimeter with a wheelchair ramp entrance. There's mulch around the playground equipment, so if you're pushing a stroller or using a wheelchair, be advised, mulch can be hard to roll through. What's on the playground? It's a pretty simple playground, but there are four major features. There's a swing set, a climber shaped like a caterpillar, a 4-seat buckabout, and a multi-pondo. Big thanks to the city of Perrysburg for putting the names of those features on their website. I didn't know what that equipment was called until I read it on the city's website. Thanks again to the city of Perrysburg. Other features of the park include picnic tables and trash cans, a grassy field, a grassy hill that's fun to play on, and signage. According to the city's website, the playground was installed in the year 2006. My family moved to Perrysburg 1 year after that in 2007. My boys were, they were 2 and 4 years old at the time. They are now 19 and 21 years old. When they were little, my sons Craig and Derek were just as interested in the playground as they were in eating the ice cream from Mr. Freeze. We've had a lot of fun eating ice cream and playing at Eisenhower Park over the years. Mr. Freeze and Eisenhower Park are a popular combination for many Perrysburg residents. That does it for features of the park. Now I'll tell you about the signage at the park and the YouTube video for this episode. Signage first. There is a City of Perrysburg Park sign at the West Boundary Street entrance for Eisenhower Park. That's right next to Marco's. There is a safety sign next to the playground, and it says that the equipment is designed for children ages 5 to 12 years old, and adult supervision is recommended. Now, just between you and me, just you and me here, right? Nobody else is listening. Bring some wet wipes. Your kids might get sticky fingers if they eat ice cream before they go play on the playground. Bring wet wipes. Back to the signage now. There's also a green signpost with several signs on it at Eisenhower Park. I'll give you the rundown from top to bottom here. There's a green box at the top of the post. It has plastic sacks in it for dog waste. Below the box is a sign for dog owners, and it basically says, "Keep your dog on a leash and clean up your dog's poop." Again, I'm paraphrasing. The next sign down the post says Eisenhower Park General Park Regulations. The list of regulations says, open dawn to dusk, park in designated areas only, no parking on the grass, dogs must be kept on a leash, dog owners must clean up after pets, no dogs on the playground. Yes, this park has 2 separate signs about dogs on the same post. The regulations also say no alcohol or drugs and no loud music. And at the very bottom of the sign, it says, please help us keep your parks clean. I take that to mean throw your garbage in the trash cans provided. The very last sign at the bottom of the post is about periodic lawn pesticide applications. It basically says that you can call a phone number for the City of Perrysburg Department of Public Service and find out when they apply pesticides. The phone number is provided on the sign. That does it for signage. Now let's talk about the YouTube video for this episode. The Perrysburg Podcast has a YouTube channel. I syndicate all of my audio episodes to YouTube. What you'll see is a static image showing while the audio plays. For most of the park episodes, on the other hand, I also make YouTube videos. That means there will be 2 episodes about Eisenhower Park on the YouTube channel. If you want to see pictures of the park, pick the thumbnail that says video and features the YouTube logo. If you like shortcuts, there is a link to the YouTube channel for the Perrysburg Podcast on perrysburgpodcast.com. However, if you use the YouTube app on your mobile device, search for The Perrysburg Podcast. The Perrysburg Podcast. No matter how you find the YouTube channel, you'll see pictures and videos from Eisenhower Park on the YouTube video. This is a short episode, so the video will be short as well. If you are a prospective, new, or current Perrysburg, Ohio resident, I hope you enjoyed learning about Eisenhower Park today. And if you're a visitor, check out Eisenhower Park while you're in town and get some ice cream from Mr. Freeze next door. They have great soft serve ice cream, milkshakes, and more. Thank you for listening to episode 54 of the Perrysburg Podcast. Please visit perrysburgpodcast.com to read the show notes. In the show notes today, you will find links to the City of Perrysburg's website. They have a page for Eisenhower Park. You will find a link to the YouTube channel for this podcast, links to the other episodes about parks in Perrysburg from this podcast, my email address, and more. If you would like to be notified every time a new episode of the Perrysburg Podcast comes out, go ahead and sign up for the newsletter on perrysburgpodcast.com. You can also subscribe to or follow the Perrysburg Podcast on your favorite podcast player and YouTube to get each new episode right when it comes out. Share this podcast episode with anyone you think might enjoy it. I thank you for listening today, and I will talk to you next week.